Hey folks, it's Adam with Outdoor Pet Solutions. In today's video, I'm going to take you out on the job. I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, how to install our favorite premium pet door through an exterior wall of your home. Let's go. Once you've picked out the location where you want to install your new pet door, the first step is to locate the studs inside the wall. To do so, you're going to need a stud finder. I really like these Franklin sensors. They're sold on Amazon. You can even get them at Lowe's and Home Depot. They come in different colors, but they all function the same way. I like them because they're accurate and very simplistic to use. Be sure to use a pencil when marking on the wall. This way you can erase the marks later on. Next, you'll want to unpack your new pet door. Remove the wall flashing attached to the top and set it aside. When you separate the exterior panel from the steel tunnel, you'll reveal the additional components inside, which include the rain cap, a set of mounting hardware, and the carpet that will line the inside of the tunnel. Next, you're going to want to measure the steel tunnel itself. Do this as close to the interior frame as possible and take that measurement and add about 1/8 of an inch to it. This will be the rough opening that you're going to be cutting into the drywall. Measure the width and the height appropriately, and again add that 1/8 of an inch to give you some wiggle room. Next, measure between the studs that you located in the wall. You're going to mark the center point between those studs so you can center your new pet door evenly between them. The pet door we're installing here is our medium 8.5 by 12.5 pet door. So I'm taking the rough opening measurements, which happen to be 10.5 inches wide by 14.25 inches tall, and I'm marking those appropriately on the wall. Next, take a good level and trace out that rough opening of your new pet door. This will ensure that your pet door will be installed perfectly level. Next, use a drywall saw to cut out your rough opening. Remove the drywall and expose the next layer inside your wall, which is typically the insulation. You're going to want to use a sharp knife to cut through the insulation and remove it. Try to leave as much as you can around the edges so that you can maintain the insulating value of your wall. With the insulation now out of the way, you should be seeing a layer of plywood or OSB. You'll need to drill through this to the exterior with a guide hole to help you locate where to cut on the exterior of your home. To do so, I've pre-marked a 4-inch line on my speed square. This will help me to position that guide hole perfectly in line with the interior hole that I just cut. You'll position the speed square up against the edge of the drywall on the right side, and you will mark that 4-inch mark on the OSB. Then you will position the speed square to the top edge of the drywall and mark again the 4-inch line onto the OSB. After marking your two lines, you should have this. This will be the reference point for you to drill through to the exterior. I'm using a 3/8 inch wood bit and a standard drill to drill through the first layer, which is the OSB or the plywood. Position the wood bit just inside those two lines. Be sure to only drill through the first layer of OSB or plywood. Do not drill all the way to the exterior. This home is finished in hardy board siding. It happens to be a concrete lap siding material, so I'm going to be using my hammer drill with a 3/8 inch thick bit to drill all the way through to the outside. I position the 3/8 inch bit into the hole I pre-drilled, and I'm using a level to level the bit in place so that I'm drilling perfectly level all the way through to the exterior. You should now have a clean, level hole drilled through to the exterior. Heading outside, you should locate your guide hole that you drilled through to the exterior. Next, you're going to transfer the rough opening measurements to the outside by taking the guide hole and measuring vertically from the top edge of the guide hole 4 inches up. And then you're going to go to the left side of that guide hole and measure over 4 inches to the left. Next, you're going to measure off those marks that you just made and transfer your rough opening measurement. This will include the 10.5 inches from that first mark over to the right, and then I'm going to measure from that top mark down 14.25 inches. Next, you'll take your level just as you did on the interior and you'll trace out your rough opening. I'll be using a standard circular saw with a diamond masonry blade attached to cut through this concrete lap siding. Be sure to use the appropriate protective equipment to keep yourself safe when cutting through these materials. Typically, just underneath the exterior siding is a vapor barrier. You'll want to take a knife and cut away that vapor barrier, exposing the OSB or plywood that's lying underneath. Next, we'll be using a reciprocating saw or sawzall to cut through the layer of OSB. Remove the OSB and you should have a clear hole all the way through to the interior. Insert the steel tunnel in through the wall all the way to the exterior. Head back outside, grab a hold of the steel tunnel and pull it firmly against the interior of the wall. Draw reference marks on the steel tunnel where the exterior siding meets it. Head back inside and remove the tunnel from the wall, and you're going to use a straight edge and you're going to want to mark a straight line along those reference marks that you took on the exterior. Next, you'll want to take a pair of tin snips or metal shears to trim down the steel tunnel so that it matches the depth of your wall. Now keep in mind, you're going to want to go slightly shorter than the depth of your wall, so I tend to cut to the right side of that line closest to the interior panel. This way the steel tunnel is just slightly shorter than the overall depth of the wall. This way when you clamp the interior and exterior frames together, it'll hold that steel tunnel nice and tight against the wall. You may want to wear a good set of protective gloves. The steel material is sharp and you will run the risk of cutting yourself if you don't protect your hands. Reinsert the pet door back into the wall. You'll head back outside and grab your flashing. The flashing needs to be prepped with a bead of silicone or caulking. Run a bead down both inside corners and then across the back side. Lift the bottom edge of the steel tunnel up and insert the flashing underneath. Now you'll take your exterior frame, and along the top edge is a channel that the rain guard will snap into. Insert the panel into the steel tunnel. Now take a speed clamp and clamp the interior and exterior frame panels together, sandwiching the steel tunnel in the middle. Don't overly tighten this at this time because you're going to take a level and level up your frame. Don't forget to head back inside and level up the interior frame as well. Now that you have both the exterior and interior frame panels perfectly level, take additional speed clamps and continue clamping around the edges. You can go ahead and fully tighten up the frames at this point. I like to just double check that I'm still level after tightening up all the clamps. Next, you'll want to locate the hardware set that came with your new pet door. It includes a drill bit and a set of screws. There are short screws and long screws depending on the application. In this case, we'll be using the long screws. Load the drill bit into your drill. Looking inside the pet door, you'll see some pre-piloted holes around the exterior frame. This is where you'll need to drill with the drill bit into the steel tunnel. Next, use a Phillips driver in your drill to install the fastening screws. Do not over tighten these screws. You'll want to set your chuck accordingly. Now you can remove your quick clamps from the frames. This is what it should look like inside your pet door with all the fastening screws in place. You will have some metal shavings inside the pet door where you drilled through the steel tunnel, so be sure to remove those so your pet does not get injured. Next, we'll be installing the carpet. This will be lining the steel tunnel on the inside, so you'll want to measure in between the frames and get that overall measurement and then cut your carpet accordingly to fit. Take the measurement that you took between the frames and transfer it to the back side of the carpet. Then line a straight edge against those marks that you just made on the back side of the carpet and take a razor knife and cut the carpet accordingly. To make the installation of the carpet easier, roll it up and then line it on the inside. The carpet will be slightly longer than you need to cover all three sides, the left, the right, and the bottom. So you'll go ahead and do a dry fit, lining the carpet inside the tunnel, and then trim the excess off. Next, take a regular caulking and just line the steel tunnel with several beads of caulking to adhere the carpet to the steel tunnel. Using caulking instead of a permanent adhesive will allow you to remove the carpet down the road if you choose to replace it. Now simply install the carpet. Now it's time to seal up the exterior of the pet door. Using painter's tape like this frog tape here will help give you a nice, straight, clean caulk line around the edges of the frame. Leave about a 1/8 inch gap between the edge of the painter's tape and the frame of the pet door. You will not be caulking along the bottom edge of the frame. The exterior caulking I'm using is the Dynaflex Ultra. It's black in color to match the pet door frame nicely. Smooth out the excess caulk against the painter's tape and the pet door frame. Remove your painter's tape to reveal the nice clean edge. And here we are back on the inside with the finished product. Slide your security panel in and you're all set. Thank you so much for coming with me out on the job to see exactly how to install our premium pet door through the wall of your home. If you're in the market for a pet door and you're looking for the absolute best, be sure to check the link down in the description. It'll take you to the premium pet door option that I prefer to install for all of my customers here in Middle Tennessee. And the pricing on the website does include the ground shipping via UPS direct to you. And as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye.